the days of creation to reproduce and replenish the earth. A woman's role is something of worth. I am woman from the rib of man. I am woman, virtuous woman, a woman with pride and dignity, with extra love for humanity. I'm gonna show my identity, 'cause that's the woman in me. Whoa. Hey. Woman, 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 woman.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Angel. And
All right, again. No.
Rush. Got it. Finally.
Praise
Finally.
the Lord,
Finally.
boy.
Finally. Welcome back to Invest and the Grenadines. You're listening to Ari and Christal. We're Activated Mornings. And if you didn't get the message, it's International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to all the women in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. No matter what you're doing this morning, happy International Women's Day to you. Happy International Women's Day to my sister. Happy International Women's Day to my best friend. Happy International Women's Day to my mother. Happy International Women's Day to my aunties. Happy International Women's Day to my grandmother. Okay, I'm pleased now.
You're tired now, boy?
I am pleased now. I am pleased now. And we've had some positive news this morning about women across, well, in and out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And unfortunately, in every news cycle, not all news can be positive. So there's an incident that took place where a young lady was fined for assaulting a young man on behalf of her sister. Now, the story reads that a woman who beat up a 14-year-old student after his school suspended him and her sister for fighting has been fined, ordered to compensate him for damaging his school uniform and she was placed on a bond. So Senior Magistrate Colin John handed down the sentence on the woman, Brittany Williams, aka Brits, a 25-year-old hairdresser of Paul's Avenue. Before handing down his sentence at the Kingston Magistrates Court on Monday, John asked Williams why, after the school had dealt with the matter, she met and assaulted the student. Your Honor, my sister was crying when she called me saying someone slapped her. As a big sister, I don't think that anyone should interfere with my sister. And I went to the boy and asked him why he had slapped my sister, Williams was saying. John asked the defendant if her sister told her that the school dealt with the matter. She said, no, my brother told me that she got suspended and that she was getting ready to go to her sister's school. I was asking the boy why he slapped my sister. Instead, I hear a response like, because she did this or because she did that. He telling me to let him go and he didn't see I upset and in a kind of, and the magistrate interjected, so why did you hold on to him? I didn't have to. I made the anger get the best of me, she responded. Williams pleaded guilty to charges of damage to property and assault occasioning in actual bodily harm in connection with her attack on the student on February 28th. The facts of the case, as presented by the prosecutor, acting Corporal of Police Caroline Samuel, are that the virtual complainant, the VC, a Form 4 student at a secondary school in Kingston. You know what I like? I like that they started omitting
names of schools.
The names of the schools.
Yeah, because it'll be too easy.
Yeah. And Williams' sister, who is a classmate, got into a fight at around 1 p.m. at school. The fight started when the VC was standing in front of a classroom door and the classmate came and pushed him, the prosecutor said. This is so childish. As a result, both students were taken to the principal's office and were suspended for 5 days for fighting. However, the classmate called Williams and told her that she had gotten suspended because the VC had slapped her, resulting in a fight. About 3:25, wait till school done. About 3:25 the same day, the VC was at the Massey supermarket, and I keep telling people that Massey Storyground and Massey Annesville really needs to be policed more because a lot of nonsense be happening up there when they have those crowds children. But we get into that. When an unknown female approached him and held on to his uniform and kept asking him why he hit her sister, the VC replied, "Miss, let go of my shirt," but the woman, who was later identified as Williams, refused. Williams continued pulling the child's uniform, which tore in the process. She then proceeded to hit the student 3 times in his face and scratched him on the left side of his neck. The VC went home and reported the matter to his parents, who later reported it to the police. The VC's parents also sent a video recording of the incident to the police. I didn't see that. Williams was arrested on Sunday and charged. The defendant told the court that she accepted the facts as presented by the prosecution. The senior magistrate told her that if she was not satisfied with how the school handled the incident, she should have gone to the police. "Yes, that is true, and I get to understand that yesterday," Williams said. "The police told me I should have come to them and they would get the 2 of them to speak to them. And I said, in a case like this, I wouldn't want to get myself in trouble again. But if it is a case and somebody come and interfere with me first and I defend myself, would I be charged and locked up still?"
She's like, but just in case.
Like, I will do the right thing.
However.
But if it was happen again and I defended myself, would I still be fine? Anyways. Yes, Your Honor, Williams said the magistrate said that this is how a situation could escalate into a family squabble. And he's right, because 2 children had an issue and an adult, in this case the defendant, did not deal with it the right way. Yeah, I kind of lost myself there. John told Williams that she had no right to hold on to the student. That's an assault, he said, and told Williams that she was not the best person to deal with the issue because of her bias. He told her she could have gotten someone else to deal with the issue.
Like a third party.
Because when emotions are involved, persons generally do not act in a rational manner. He fined Williams $300 to be paid within 1 month. She was bonded for a year in the sum of $500. If Williams breaches the bond, she must pay the sum forthwith or spend 3 months in prison. On the damage to property charge, the magistrate reprimanded and discharged Williams and ordered her to pay compensation of $104.85 for the damage to the student's clothes. $104 for blouse? No wonder parents are stressed. "I will not award compensation for the injuries. I do not know if the intricacies of what might have happened at the school and in event that he was in fact the aggressor. I wouldn't want to offer any reward or any support to any bad behavior," the magistrate said. "I am saying it was, but however, they can put you in court if they want to for compensation. They have the option still open to them." What are your thoughts on this? This is
So unfortunate, though. I mean, that I could. I get why she got emotional because it's your sister and you don't want anybody to be like harassing or abusing your sibling. But she did admit that that was the wrong decision to make. Kudos to the parents, though, for putting a stop or a block at that issue escalating further into something far worse, like reprisal, stuff. So the other parents did the right thing to go to the police. So I hope that people could pull out that. If you have an issue with somebody, take it to the police. First, take it to the Lord in prayer and then take it to the police and let them deal with it. Even in schools, remember a time that there was an issue at the college too? Remember that? Where a young lady went to defend her sibling as well and ended up getting charged again. So it's not something that...
When was that?
Over a year ago.
Okay.
Over a year ago. Yeah, pretty sure that there was a brass knuckle involved too with that.
Oh, okay.
There was a video too,
Yeah, I think vaguely.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, it's best to follow a chain a process when you're trying to resolve issues, and children will always have a little squabble between them. It's always unfortunate, I find, when the aggressor ends up being the one like pitied or being the one benefited to some extent, benefiting in the situation because of the response, which is not the way that ideally things should turn out. If you are the aggressor, you should be the one who should be punished solely. So
No. The thing is, right, these things going on since the beginning of time. And like you said, kudos to the
Cain and
parents.
Abel? Oh, no, that's something different.
Kudos to the parents because it could have gone all the way south, usually in that situation. That is how, as the magistrate correctly said, that's how family squabbles begin. All right. This one slapped my sister, I've gotten involved. Okay, so this adult want to get involved in children things, so we getting involved. And then it going long and long and generations and generations and all kind of nonsense. You don't even know how it started. Could have started so simple. What they say, he was at the door and was pushed and slapped.
Because that little stick sweetie thing.
Yeah.
End up something worse.
But I think adults tend to forget that children are children and children will squabble and children will have their little fights. It's character building. If it is that it did not result in physical damage to the point where, let's say, her face was swollen or she had open wounds, or you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's something that you let the school handle and move on from there. Now, if it is that her clothes were ripped, she received any sort of physical damage,
but they were both
then you
suspended.
go to the police. Yeah,
they were both suspended for the issue.
So you let the school deal with it for a small issue like that. If it is that it has escalated to something else, then it is that you, in my opinion at least, you involve the police and then you follow the proper protocol in dealing with matter such as that.
Mm-hmm. Something to note too is sometimes when circumstances get to the point where somebody is hurt, injured, goes to jail, or even worst case scenario dies, you'll find that some victims become less and less likely to admit or to share certain things with like adults.
Yeah.
Because they don't want certain things happening to them. They might feel guilty. So like those are other things that you have to be like careful about. Sometimes they only tell you because they feel in that moment and they don't want you to do something about it. They just want to like get it off their chest or share. But being a parent is difficult, and being a guardian is difficult. Being an adult is difficult. Oh my goodness me. But you just have to like put the emotions and put the emotions aside and try to deal with certain things in the best way possible, which is not always very easy to do, but
you know, that is easier said than done in a lot of these situations. But the more you practice it, the more it becomes easier and easier to deal with situations like this. I don't know. It didn't have to reach to that point. Now you see, when I saw this story, it rang bells in my head because I was like, why does this person look so familiar?
Oh boy.
So this person was already in trouble with the law in 2018. Story and such, right? Woman barely escaped jail term for cocaine and marijuana. At the time, she was 20 years old, so 5 years ago. She was caught at the wharf carrying marijuana and cocaine to Canawan, and she barely escaped a prison sentence. At this time, she was living at Chopping. She was brought to the Serious Offences Court, charged on June 29th, being in the possession of 1,190 grams of cannabis, 13 grams of cocaine. She responded that she was guilty to both charges. Facts of the case was she was at the Gurney's Wharf. She had a number of bags on her feet. There was a search. The police found the drugs. She appeared before Rishon Brown, who she said she did test offenses with cocaine, and there was a conversation, and she indicated that even if the person is female, if the drug is cocaine, then it is prison. But that her saving graces were her pleading guilty and absence of a record. So she didn't have a record at the time. She was fined $1,500 forthwith for the possession of cocaine in default, which she would have spent 7 months in prison. And she was fined $2,500 for the cannabis to be paid at that time by July, the end of July, in default, in which she would have spent 8 months in prison. Her forthright fine was paid, and the young woman she was remanded in the compound of the court for over an hour, avoiding the media. Now you already had that against you. Shouldn't that be enough to tell you to deal with a situation?
No, necessarily it's a different charge though.
Listen, if I went before the serious offences court and I got off on drugs, I am walking the straight and narrow, moving forward.
All the time.
Moving forward. So hopefully, I really do hope that you learn from the situation, and you already had that. Try to set a proper example for your younger siblings.
True.
You gotta call this. What happened? Okay, let's ensure that it doesn't happen again. Because in reality, suspension doesn't fix a lot of these situations. Suspend them, you send them home, they still have each other in the mind, and it could escalate from there. It was then your job as adult to de-escalate the situation. And that is exactly what should have happened there.
Going before the court doesn't always do the same thing that you mentioned either. Going to prison doesn't always have the same effect on
That is
everybody.
true. But they have more of an effect though.
Yeah, because that's the point of court.
It's supposed to serve as a deterrent.
That is the point of the judicial system, right?
Yeah. But it is an interactive program, and the number to call is 457-9997. Also the number to WhatsApp 457-9997.
All right, so let's get some responses. Good morning, Erica. I am not going to read this, Krempo. I'm not going to read this. Granny Tombs. Oh, wait now. Was distracting me. All right, another thing. The crowd will be there on Fridays every week, and I think something needs to be done. I'm talking about the Master Supermarket in Annersville.
Yeah.
They put up some steel pointy things. I don't know what it's called. On the railing so that people can sit on it.
Yeah, but it still has the crowd. They go to the parking lot. The railing is one small solution.
Railing. Put it on the railing.
Yeah, what else?
What now? Right.
What else?
Yeah, what's the next solution? All right, so some other comments coming in on the WhatsApp. Another thing again, some of them bus drivers always find their way at Massive Car Park every Friday evening. Lock them out. Is your car park? No. And as we play music so loud. I mean, it's a business place and it's only in SVJ you find these things happening. What is the supermarket doing about it? If they're allowing it, then yeah. Someone being slapped is not a small issue. Whenever parents don't hit their children, absolutely no one else has the right to hit your child, period. This is a red line.
Yeah, but somebody slap your child or sibling in school, and then the solution is to slap them back. Then it's just gonna be a slap first. Okay, slap there, let me slap you back tomorrow. At some point, it has to end.
Yeah, but some people feel that when you give back a piece of their own medicine, then they will cut it out.
No, that thing could go on for a very long time. We just have to find that's the thing that we keep talking about on Activated Mornings: conflict resolution. Once you find a realistic solution to these problems, then you will have less and less instances escalating like this. And again, kudos to the parents who, instead of reacting in a violent manner, they went to the police.
Yep. All right. So 8:26, time for a break, and then we're gonna come back. Oh no, we're going to this, so then we come back.
I wanted to touch on this briefly before we go to this break. So yesterday the story had surfaced on Eyewitness News about a lawyer. More or less, well, it seems like more than one lawyers, and at least from my experience, more than one lawyers were confused about the cybercrime ruling that was handed down by Bertie Pompey in a case. And funnily enough, after that, a story surfaced that Bertie Pompey has retired from magistracy. So he's no longer magistrate. So Bertie Pompey has announced his retirement from magistracy after 8 years. Today marks the end of my tenure as I proceed on vacation leave. After today, I would not be coming back, Pompey said on February 29th at the Connery Magistrates Court sitting at Georgetown. Some people in the courtroom appear to have been taken aback by the announcement. Pompey said that his vacation leave would precede his retirement leave. He presided over the second magisterial district, which is composed of the Connery, Bayabu, Mesopotamia, and Georgetown magistrate courts. There was just formalities after that. He was appointed as a magistrate in April 27, 2016, subsequent after retiring from the police force, where he served over 30 years. He attained the rank of Assistant Commissioner of Police on July 21st, 2004, and Deputy Commissioner of Police on October 1st, 2005. He said to be the first police officer in the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force to be promoted from Inspector to Assistant Commissioner of Police, skipping Assistant Superintendent of Police and Superintendent of Police.
It doesn't have to be coincidence that just as this story breaks,
I'm not saying he retired because of the story.
Cause and effect. Oh,
I'm saying because look, it says this happened on February 29th. This story broke yesterday, March 7th. Yeah.
February 29th. That day will not come for the next 4 years. And the shortest time in German.
Well, yeah. I don't know. You have anything?
Congrats. Congrats and thank you on behalf of the people.
So yeah, for serving St. Vincent and the Grenadines in that capacity. So we're gonna take.
It's a tough job.
Yeah,
better you than me.
It is a tough job.
I don't want to do it.
But I want to know that he's no longer a magistrate.
What you gonna do now?
What is going to happen in this case? Well, again, I guess he just moved to a different court or a different magistrate.
Which case?
With the guy who was fined for going into the woman's phone under the cybercrime.
So
it's
you just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if the person was ill, that you have to go back to the person.
Yeah, but what a lot of lawyers were saying that it had no right being heard in that court. So I was expecting it to be addressed. But if he has retired, guess it won't be addressed by him at least.
Don't mean it won't be addressed.
But yeah, we're gonna take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with more Activated Mornings this morning.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well,